Hi, Helen here from Mini Water Adventurers and Swim Education. I have a brilliant game here that you probably may have not thought about. If you have, then you are simply amazing. So, this game is called Snakes and Ladders, and there are a couple of things you do need to have in preparation for this game. And one of those things, of course, is the board here. This is actually part of the Swim Squad membership where they get this for free. However, you can create these yourself quite easily. They are fantastic because you also need to have, which again, something really cool, what I call them suckums. I don't really know what else to call them, but you have different variations and they basically stick on the sheet perfectly as so they don't roll off. So you can use things like pom poms and things like that, but like I said, they can roll off. And it might be that it is part of the game of where some of the others move the counters, which is not fair, of course. But you could also add that in is that they can go off and knock them off and they have to start again. But anyway, that's variation to think about down the line. So what you need is your board and you need to have counters, whichever ways you want to do counters. Highly recommend the suckums. And you'll also need a dice. So you could also have a dice like this that I highly recommend any teacher has. But you can also have these dices that I've recently found of where you can actually draw on them and you'll be able to do your dots on here, and you can then wipe them off and use this dice for something else. So like for instance, I've just done written on there a 1 and they all need that. Other things that you could use would be bath foam numbers of where they pick it out using a bag, or something like that, or a bucket of where they pick out the numbers of what they are or how they're going to be moving, how much forward on the game they're going to do. So anyway, let's get into it. Those are the type of things that you'll need beforehand. And basically they are in 2 teams. This is perfect if you do wanting to do like a relay style race. So they're in their 2 teams. The first swimmer goes off first. The dice is down the other end of the pool. The space that you have, preferably at this stage, they are doing 25 meters. You could choose the stroke that they are doing, or it could be they are doing it for time. So you're wanting to do it as fast as possible. So they're choosing their fastest stroke. Or like I said, you can mix it up of where they are sculling. They could be side stroke. They could be bobbing, going down. They could be on their backs, whichever way you're wanting them to move. And varying it is great because they are using all sorts of muscles and whatnot. And they're learning their safety skills as well doing this. So they are going down to go to the dice to throw it to find out how many spaces they have to when they are moving. Then they come back to their board. So of course their snakes and ladders board is in the middle between the 2 teams. And they're going to be moving their counters. So as a teacher, just keep your eye on how much they have thrown, because they might say they're 6 and they've only thrown a 2. So just check that out, that they are not cheating. And so they move it along on their board. So they have moved 5, and actually they've moved 4 on this particular board, because on 4, what there is there is a ladder. So if they come across a ladder, you can add in different movements, and they could be different each time you play this game. But an example that I have is that they can do their climb up and outs, and it's really good because it's great for upper body strength to be able to keep doing quite a lot of get outs. The reason why I say get out is because they are literally climbing out and then getting back in safely. You may want them to sit down and get in safely, so it's not causing loads of chaos. Or it could be that they perform a particular jump to come back in. So again, that's down to you of how you want to do it. Now, if they throw the dice and they've got to, say for instance here, they're all the way up to 25. There is a sneaky snake there. And what they do with snakes is they have to then go back to where the number is, which on this case is number 5. And then they have to perform another movement, which is different. And an example that I have is that they can go down and under. and basically holding your breath, going down, blowing out. And you could do that a number of times. So they have to do it 5 times because they're going to 5. It could be that you do a limit of no more than 10, for instance, so it keeps the game flowing and then the other swimmers aren't waiting for ages. Or it could be that all of them do it as part of the team because that's what's happened. You could also, so then basically they've moved. If they land on the snake or the ladder, they do. But then they keep going down to throw the dice and coming back. If you're wanting this game to not go on and on and on, because of course here's an example of 100, you could potentially in your dice only have 5 or 6 or 4, 5 and 6 that they throw, and that's the amount of spaces that they are moving, or it could be 6s only, for instance. So it depends on how long you want this game to last for. Potentially you could have it quite an ongoing game because you could add in so many different things. If they land on a 6, they have to do this stroke to go down. It's a great variation. Or it could be if they throw a 5, then they're going down sculling, for instance. So you can have you could do a whole lesson just using this board game, which is really great fun for this age group. And it's a great way of enriching your lesson of where they're just not doing 200 meters, for instance, and they're only just swimming those 8 lengths, however way you're wanting to do it. It really changes it up, and the children just respond so well to this type of conducting of a lesson. So they need to make sure that they tag the next swimmer to be able to then go down. The swimmers can't start halfway down, for instance, which they edge forward because they get exciting because they want to go and do it themselves. If you have quite a large group and there's too many swimmers in each team, maybe think about putting them into smaller teams. So you may need more of your game board and more counters, for instance. So again, just adapt it accordingly to your group of how you want to do it. You could do them in pairs, and then they're working one-on-one together, and they've got a sheet each. That's the beauty of doing these play mats, is that they're so inexpensive but so brilliant, that you can use them in such an inexpensive way to inspire these young swimmers. So just these variations that I've done here, basically put about higher numbers to make the game go a bit faster. And like I said about changing the ladder and the snake actions. And then again, like I said here, putting them into pairs or threes, depending on the size of your group. So let's see it in Azione. Here we have them in their 2 teams, just using a team here as Azione. Here we have them in their 2 teams, just using a team here example. There's 5 in each, isn't too bad. I wouldn't have more than 5 in each team, wouldn't go any more than that. That's probably a bit of a stretch, to be honest, because you don't want them just waiting around. You could add in that whilst they are waiting, they are treading water, or they could be kicking their legs, or they could be sitting on the side kicking. You could add in something of where they're not just standing and waiting their turn, because that's the last thing. You don't want them to get cold, you don't want them to get bored, and you don't want them to lose enthusiasm for this style of lesson. So again, think of something to keep them going if you do have 4 or 5 in a team. So you've set them off and off they go. They're going down to go, and hopefully the fastest first there can throw the dice first. And it is the first person who gets the dice to throw the number. You could potentially, if you notice that some of your swimmers are quite snatchy, or they don't respond well to sort of sharing, if you like, then maybe have 2 dice or 2 die of where they then throw their own for the team. So you know your cohort swimmers, so do it accordingly. Off they go. So we're watching just to check to see what they are throwing. They've thrown the dice, and off they go back to their board. And they will position where they are on. So they either have to do their movement if they've landed on whichever retrospective number, and then the next person, of course, then goes, and it keeps going back and forth until the whole team are going. Or it could be that you may want to stop it at a certain time of where the swimmers have gone twice each, for instance, and they still haven't got. So here it's got 100 counters, so it could go on for a little bit. So you might say that you go two times through, and then whoever's the highest on the board are the classed as the winners, and so forth. So again, use your common sense as a teacher to determine how you wish to do that. If you love these games, then please think about subscribing. Please like this video if you do like it. It's great for the algorithms for me to be able to make sure that other teachers get to see these brilliant games too. And also you could potentially hit the notification bell button. I do bring out videos weekly. 2025 is my year of putting out a video weekly, and I will do that if not more. So make sure you check out all the other good games. I do put on here games for parent and me classes, specifically toddlers, preschoolers and early stages, but also of course games like this for higher stages too. If you really like these, in the sense that you want loads more information and you want to have all your resources done for you, so say for instance this is on the Swim Squad membership alongside loads of other resources that are ready and made for you. All you need to do is either print them off. There are lesson plans. There is so much on there, but I'm going to talk about that in the next sort of caption, if you like, after this. So make sure you stick to watch that so you can find out more about the Swim Squad membership. Anyway, I am done. Enjoy your lessons, and most importantly, have a ton of fun. See you in the next one. Are you loving these videos? Then the Swim Squad membership is perfect for you. This is a paid membership designed exclusively for you swimming teachers who want to take their lessons to the next level. As a Swim Squad member, you'll receive monthly themed activities and lesson ideas to keep your swimmers engaged and excited. Fresh, innovative drills for all ages and abilities, exclusive games and techniques to help swimmers progress faster, business tips and creative strategies to grow your swim school, access to a supportive community of like-minded teachers. With Swim Squad, you'll have everything that you need to make your lessons stand out and create confident, skilled swimmers. Sign up today using the link in the description and start transforming your swimming lessons. Swim Squad for teachers who inspire. Yay! Look forward to seeing you there.